Here we are back, episode 70. Today in the shop, we're working on a lawnmower again. This one, the pull cord come out of the recoil. So this is a Tecumseh yard machines made by MTD. It's a 3.8 horsepower, 148 cc. Again, I wrote down for this customer the identification tag. You always want to write it down. It's got all your information. It's got the serial number and the model number. Reason why you want to do that is because sometimes they get, look at that, I even found a bolt on the side here. Not sure where that come from. That's sitting right on the belly pan of the mower. So we'll have to take a look and see where that came out of. But nonetheless, it's always good to write down the identification tag, because a lot of times with lawnmowers, they get wrecked. There's no other service on this today that this gentleman wants except for his recoil reinstalled. So I'm gonna get the camera set up and then we'll get right at it. So stay tuned. Thanks. So we're gonna start with removing the top recoil cover. There's a bolt here, or a screw I should say. And then there's one here. So just the two, one on either side. So as we can see, there is a hole here, but we're gonna take off the ones that it shows. So, and what I mean by shows is just the ones that have the screws in it. These other holes, this is my first time getting at this one, so I don't know what those other holes are for, or if they are where screws once were and are missing. So I'm only taking off what I can see, visually see. Sometimes people bring you things and you know, they've already got into them and they don't want to tell you about it. They're embarrassed, or they couldn't figure it out, or what could be the case. So the recoil is right in the top. You can see where the broken rope is. Well, there it is. It just pulled right out. So now I'm going to have to remove this out. So you can see right in there. That's the recoil. So this would be the crankshaft going right through. So this end is the recoil and the bottom is the actual propeller of the mower. So when we pull down here, it's spinning, but it's also starting the lawnmower as well. So I've never had one of these ones out. I gotta just take a look here and see. A lot of these are all different. I'm gonna grab the recoil so you can see. There's the other end that broke off. Well, where did I put that piece? Did I drop it, or did I go throw it in the garbage? Here we go already. I'm already forgetting now. Nonetheless, the piece that I pulled out that was stuck up in there, oh, here it is here. So that piece there was attached to this piece, which has a knot on the end of it, and it broke right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this a clean cut, so then I can shove it back through, and then I'll re-knot it, and then we'll recoil it back up. So let me get something to cut this with. So I just cut it there. So now it's like a nicer end to work with. I haven't done any research on this, but I can see on the inside cover, right there is the hole that it should come through. So I'm gonna try and line it up and see if I can, obviously this is the exit where we pull, but we've got to get in the inside so then we can coil it up. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. I'm going to try and, you can see There's the coils when they come out. They'll grab in these slots, so when I close it, you don't see them when I open it. And that's what gives it the pull to start these. So line these holes back up here again. And see if I can sneak it through. Sometimes what I may have to do is stick a wire in the opposite side and then tie the wire onto here. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because this angle is going in, this angle is going in this way, and then we have to make it come out that way. So in and out, and it just isn't doing it. So I'm going to get a piece of wire here, and then I'll see if I can feed it back the back way. And I'll get some tape, because that's what we'll do, is tape it on together. So I've got a piece of wire here, and I brought some electrical tape because I'm hoping to feed it back through, and then if I can get the wire to go through. So this is just regular electrical wire, and I like it because I can bend it and shape it and things. So I'm gonna go through the back way here and then see if I can get it to come through. I'm going to grab a light here as well. A lot of these recoils, you can buy them loop and everything, and you just buy it and you replace it and you stick it right on your mower or chainsaw or anything else that has oh, I had it right there at the entrance. So all I'm doing is, like I say, I'm back feeding. I'm going backwards from where I need to tie the knot. And then I'm feeding this through the actual hole that we pull from. And the reason we're doing it this way is I can get this wire to bend better than I can the rope. And then I will tape the rope onto the wire and then pull it through. So I don't know if you guys can see it there. So there it is. So I went through the back where we're going to tie the knot, and this is where we do our pull. So I went backwards through it, and then now I'm going to get the end of our rope, and I'm going to tape it. I'm going to shut this light off here. I'm going to tape it onto there so I can pull it through. Because this here, as it bends, and every time it hits something, it changes. With the wire, it stayed a bit more stationary, so a little bit easier to work with. Sometimes pulling through like this, the tape will come off. You may have to do it a couple times, or 3 or 4, or maybe even more. You don't want to make the tape bulge bigger than you need to, because it's got to go through these small, tiny holes. So now, you guys can see I'm just going to pull this wire backwards, and then now I'm going to try and feed it through. As you can see, the tape, oh, I think I just already unpulled it. Let me see if I can pull it out. Yeah, see that? See how easy? Oh, you didn't. Let me pull the camera back. So as I pulled that, it came undone already. So we'll give it another shot here. Like I say, if it was easy for me to just pass the string through, I would have, but I just couldn't do it because there's not enough, it's too soft, and it wouldn't hold its shape for me. Okay, so we're going to try that again now. So I'm just pulling it back. Looks like I got it too fat again, but we're going to have to give it a shot, and the wire pulled right through. So going to have to come up with another idea. I'm going to say going through this way, it's just never going to come through this hole in the back because the hole in the back is so much smaller. I may have to get a lighter or use the little torch and heat this up and then make a point out of it, which I'll go grab the lighter and see if that will help. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these gloves off because they'll melt. So I use the little torch, and then I just use a little bit of saliva on my fingers to try and make this string into a little point. So I'm just going to melt it up, kind of like with the old hockey skate laces when they got all frayed up, you just kind of make your own point. So I made it into a nice point. And now I'm going to go cut that tip off, and it'll be all nice and hard because the heat made it burnt a little. Burnt, but where it was still easy for me to manipulate it into how I want to shape it. I'm going to bring the side cutters over with me because I'm thinking, as you guys can see in the video, how I've heated it up. Now this is just, it's so thin, but I think that might be able to go through. So I'm gonna shove it through and see if I can, I gotta turn this light on again here, guys, sorry. Okay, so I've got it just sticking through. I'm going to go grab a pair of needle nose pliers now and see if I can pull it the rest of the way through. So you can just see the head of the string sticking through. Oh, and I just pushed it back. Just pushed back. I've got it there again. I'll give it a, oh, there it goes. So it just popped through. You can see right there, it just popped through. So now I'm gonna try and pull it. I just need enough, there we go. Yeah, now I just gotta tie a knot in this end, and then I can recoil it up. So that actually went a little easier, smoother than I actually thought, believe it or not, even though it was a bit of dinking around. That was just me using a little torch and a little saliva on my fingers to make it turn around like that. Just took the other glove off here so I can tie a knot. So make sure you guys can still see it. So I'm just going to tie a knot within it. Try and keep it tight because it's got to fit in between this impeller down there. So I'm use the pliers here to pull upon. I don't know how old this this string is, so it could be old. Just want to make sure it doesn't pull through. So you can see I tied it. I pulled it tight with these pliers, so it shouldn't come undone. And you always say shouldn't, and sometimes it still happens. See if we can do one more little knot in it. Like I say, you got to be able to fit it down in there, and I don't know if I do one more if it will allow me to fit it in there, but all we can do is give it a shot. So I'd say you can be busy with lawnmower repairs, but when it comes to the actual engine work, you'd almost be better off buying a whole new lawnmower when it comes to the internal parts, because people don't want to pay to have it fixed. So we're going to stick it on that way. Gotta line the holes back up here. So there was 4, and for some reason we only had 2 screws. So interesting. Interesting. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to pass it through up here, but I can do that afterwards. I'll do that afterwards. We'll just worry about this for it right now. Yep, we should be good there. So I'm gonna run my mounting screws back in. So all we did was tie a knot, but we had to feed it back through the recoil and then just tie the knot. So like I say, there's not a whole lot of money in the small engine for engine stuff, but definitely for just services, definitely there's like regular maintenance, there's definitely money to be made there. You know, whether it's just air filters, sharpening blades, whatever else. But if you got into the full engine, it honestly would be probably cheaper to purchase a new one. There's so many offshore companies making lawnmowers and stuff now that it's just wouldn't be feasible. So this, I'll move you this way. I'll tilt you up a little bit. So this lawnmower here, this handle, is supposed to go through this bar here. And because I didn't run the string through, so when you're holding it, starting it, I can just pull from here. So I'm going to loosen that off. Looks to be about a 1/2 inch maybe. A little bit smaller. We'll try 7/16. There we go. So now I'm going to just pull the cable up, and then I'm going to sneak it in and around, and then you get this, there we go. So that's where it will start all the time, right there. So I don't pull it from the mower, I pull it from right here. Because a small engine, I shouldn't need a lot of pull stroke on it. It should be relatively there, ready to go. So I'll just tighten that up now. I'm sorry if you can't see the camera there, just the way I come over here. So if I wanted to alter that, before I could have ran the string down that way and then tied it there. So we've got recoil there and it's going back, so that's good. Like I said, now we've got that one screw we found. So here's our recoil. This cable comes out and then it goes up, and then right on the first cross shaft, that's where you pull from. The cable will go all the way up a side, and then this is our actual lever to start to run, and sometimes the pull cable will go right up by there. But I'm just curious on, just lower you down here for a second. This bolt here, said, I didn't see that before. I didn't take anything apart, so I'm not sure where it come from. Doesn't hurt to try and match and line up another spot where you see a bolt, and it could also be not even from the mower. It could have been from someone else, and oh, I found it. Let me bring you over this way. So I removed the fuel tank. Right there we can see a missing bolt. So that's where it goes. So that was on the belly pan. And if I probably asked the owner if he knew where it came from, I'm gonna guess he probably didn't, because he may have not even seen it on the belly pan. So we'll snug that up while we're here. Wasn't what any of the issues or complaints were, but we may as well do it while we're here. Our goal is to have this thing running. Like I said, there was no other service, no spark plug they wanted done or anything like that, just the recoil. So I couldn't make it run beforehand because there was no recoil. So we've got it buttoned up there now. We'll put the fuel tank back in place. There we go. So yeah, that was doing the recoil. So I'm going to, I don't know where the camera is. I'm holding my big stand here, but I'll get this set on the ground and we'll get outside and see if we can get a fire. So bear with me. So I'm just going to prime it here, 3 prime pumps. 3 prime pumps. 1, 2, 3. Pull in the table, reach and grab. So there we go, just to recap, we undid the 2 mounting screws at the top. It does show that it should have 4, it only had 2. We took the cover off. We fed the cable through the recoil, through the hole into the recoil. We heated it up and tied a knot. You can actually see it right there. and then we fed it back up through the support, and then we fired it up. So thanks a lot for following us on another lawn